Welcome to AI Chain Reaction, the podcast where we unpack the incredible world of artificial intelligence and automation. Each week, we're diving deep into the tech that's reshaping our lives, our businesses, and our future. From groundbreaking innovations and the latest industry news to practical strategies on how you can leverage AI automation for growth. We're covering it all. We'll be joined by leading experts, innovators, and thought leaders who are at the forefront of this digital revolution. Are you ready to explore how one small change can set off a massive chain reaction of progress? Then you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Alrighty. Hello and welcome back to the show. I'm Nick, and today we're diving into AI-driven shipment tracking, what some call track and trace automation. We'll explore how even small logistics firms can pilot an AI agent to handle status updates automatically. Think about dispatchers no longer refreshing carrier websites or copying emails by hand. Sounds useful, right?
Absolutely. Let's start with the problem. Even today, many freight brokers and small carriers still use manual check carrier portals or parse status emails to tell customers where their loads are. One recent industry write-up notes that in 2025, many of the visibility workflows still depend on manually checking carrier websites, parsing status, emails, copying data into spreadsheets or TMS systems. That's a lot of repetitive work that can result in a lot of mistakes. So dispatchers are basically doing where's my load detective work every day. In fact, in an internal study, one found that 30 to 40% of a logistics team's visibility work hours are spent hunting for this information. And it already exists elsewhere in a disconnected system. In other words, your staff is spending nearly half of their time digging for updates instead of managing exceptions. And that's a problem we want to solve.
So how does AI come in? Are we talking about connecting to APIs or what?
That's a great question. The approach we're talking about uses AI agents that mimic a person's actions. No heavy API coding required. Imagine a bot that can log into each carrier's portal or open an email, just like a human dispatcher would, read the status information. In fact, an AI-driven track and trace agents can be trained to do exactly that. Log on to websites to extract live shipment statuses, ETAs, even POD details, plus read and interpret status emails, PDFs, spreadsheets, whatever. Basically, the agent is clicking and reading and typing like you would. So this means no new integration or API needed. The agent uses the existing interfaces, clicking through the portals, the screens, scanning the emails, and then it automatically updates your internal system or spreadsheets with the info. It's like having an extra team member or members who never sleep. Even if your carriers don't offer modern API feeds, the AI can still bridge those gaps for you.
So it learns the same workflow our humans use?
Yes. You train it by demonstration. Show it how to log on to a particular carrier portal and where to find the status fields. It learns to recognize the shipment's progress. The same with email. You point out which parts of the email tell you the status, and the AI learns to extract that. After training, the AI agent continually performs these checks. The beauty is, as one industry puts it, the AI agent operates just like a human user, clicking, typing, reading the data directly from the interface. It can fully cover fragmented carrier networks and trading gaps as well.
Like if a driver texts or emails an update, or if there's a PDF attachment?
Definitely, yeah. A well-designed agent can parse free text messages, even OCR or read attached documents. For example, if a terminal sends a PDF or proof of delivery, the AI can open it and extract the POD info. In the Ventus AI case, they mentioned the agent reads status emails, PDFs, spreadsheets from drivers and carriers. So nothing falls through the cracks. If a dispatcher would normally read an email and type up something into the TMS, the AI does that automatically as well.
It sounds powerful. Are there any real examples of this working?
For sure, yes. Small carriers have already done it. One case study I saw involved a New Jersey drayage carrier. They trained AI agents to read the same terminal portal and email updates their dispatchers used. The result? Within 2 weeks, they automated over 80% of the shipment status updates. Dispatchers who used to spend hours hunting and copying data suddenly had 80% of that done. They even reduced the manual tracking time by several hours per dispatcher while giving customers faster, more consistent visibility. The AI set on top of their existing systems in short order They went from reactive, waiting to hear on these updates, to proactive, pushing updates out automatically. That's huge for customer service. Less where's my truck questions, inquiries, and more real-time info.
Wow, that's an impressive result. So, for a small to mid business without big IT resources, how would they get started with something like this?
Well, we'd recommend a pilot approach. Don't try and flip everything on at once. For a start, pick a single lane or handful of loads to pilot. Maybe you have a regular Chicago, Dallas route or 5 loads a week from LA to New York, something like this. Identify the information sources for those shipments. Which carrier portals do these loads use? What email templates come through? If your drivers use text, note that as well. Then train the AI agent on those specific sources. For instance, log in and show it where to find the arrived at shipper, picked up, delivered statuses, all on the portal. Also, let it read a few sample emails or PDFs to learn the format. Then run that agent in the background overnight or periodically. Let it do its thing while people sleep. The next morning, it can already pull the latest statuses. Then compare that with your normal process. See how many of these updates AI caught and what, if anything, it missed. Then just fix those and retrain it for any glitches. Even if it only catches 50% initially, that's 50% less work for your team. Then just gradually expand this. Once the agent is reliable and handling that test lane, roll it out to more lanes and more carriers. The pilot checklist ensures you keep the risk low. Your usual process is still there as a backup, but you can start realizing that automation benefits right away.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Definitely. Exactly. By layering AI on top of everything, emails, portals, GPS pings, you truly get an always updated stream. Your customers see near live locations and ETAs and handle exceptions instead of routine updates.
What about the work to set this up? Are we talking about months of coding, or can this really be quick?
Yeah, can be really quick to start. So these AI agents can be deployed very quickly, often in under a week. They're set up by showing them how the existing processes work. You don't need to sit through a long IT project or get expensive EDI interfaces. It's more like training a colleague. One write-up notes that they can even be trained using your team's existing workflows simply by demonstration. So yeah, super quick wins are possible on this one. And on the risk side, it's pretty safe. The worst thing that happens is the AI misses something and your team still has the old email portal as a backup. Over time, the agent will catch more and more of the updates. Early adopters report it drastically reduces the daily grind of where's my load inquiries, even if it doesn't catch everything at first.
Let's talk benefits. Beyond saving those hours, what do we get out of this?
Good question. Several big wins. First is speed. Updates come in faster around the clock. No more waiting on the morning person to check emails. Second, accuracy. No more copy and paste typos. AI will consistently pull in the right data each time, which means fewer mistakes. So you're getting it done a lot faster with fewer errors. Also, visibility. Customers and operators get to continuous end-to-end updates. One summary of the outcomes listed things like end-to-end visibility, continuous updates from portals, ELDs, and email sources, and error reduction. No more copy and paste mistakes or missed emails. When the customer portal on your TMS is filled with live data, you stand out on the service. And another key benefit is efficiency. Your team can focus on exceptions like delays or reroutes instead of routine status checks. And time is money. As that case showed, automating 80% of the updates saved hours per person each week. That's freed up labor that can go into sales, problem solving, instead of just data entry.
And this approach seems especially right for small to mid-sized players who might not have a big IT budget. Instead of buying a fancy new system, they can leverage AI on top of what they already use.
Right. That's a low-cost pilot. If it doesn't add value, you fall back on the manual. If it does, you've essentially upgraded your visibility with very little investment. No big vendor buy-in, no lengthy integration. One more point. Because this uses AI and natural language processing, it can keep improving. For example, the carrier portal, if it changes layout or to a new email format comes in, you can retrain the agent with a few examples rather than recode an API. The agent learns your workflows and updates as you go along.
Wow. Well, Devon, Before we close out, can you walk us through what the ROI might look like for a small 3PL or fulfillment center piloting this kind of automated tracking project?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a question definitely the leaders, financial folks like CFOs are going to want to know about. So let's tackle this one right now. It's a good question, Nick. Let's take a simple example. Say a small logistics provider moves about 300 loads a week. If each load requires a dispatcher to check its status a few times a day, that could be 2 to 3 minutes per check. So easily 10 to 15 staff hours daily, just manually tracking and copying, pasting updates. Now, if we can take an AI agent and the AI agent automates 70 to 80% of those updates, you're saving about 8 to 12 hours a day, or roughly 40 to 60 hours per week. Multiply that by your average dispatcher rate. Let's say it's $25 an hour. You're looking around 1,000 to 1,500 in weekly labor savings alone. That's over $50,000 a year reclaimed, not even counting the faster outcomes, the customer response times that are better, fewer updates, things, data, and errors that you got to go back on. So that's a huge win for being such a small project and being scalable as well. Once you prove out the concept on the pilot, like say one lane, that same AI workflow can be spread out to multiple regions with very little additional setup, right? Because it's just going to go off of what it's already learned. So you can measure the ROI on these through a few simple metrics: reduction in manual email time per dispatcher, faster customer update cycles, error reduction in shipment status entries, and increased customer satisfaction scores. The best part of it is setup costs are low. Most of these pilots require only a small subscription to an AI automation platform or a few days of setup time. So the ROI can often be achieved within the first 1 to 2 months even.
Wow, that's incredible. So a small, low-risk pilot can deliver 5-figure annual savings and faster visibility for customers. That's a pretty clear business case.
And it helps to build internal buy-in as well. Once people see how much time it saves, they'll want to automate the next process too.
Well, before we wrap up, any tips or caveats for teams trying this?
Yes, a couple. First, start simple. Pick carriers or lanes that have fairly straightforward tracking info. Highly customized or seldom used carriers might be second phase. Second, clearly label the AI's data in your system. You want to always know which updates came from the bot versus a person, at least initially, so you can audit the accuracy on both. Also, keep in mind you're dealing with sensitive info, shipment documents, so use secure credentials for the AI agents just like your own team members, and monitor it first. Make sure it isn't misreading something, but once it's stable, then it should be good to go with very little oversight.
Excellent. To summarize, AI track and trace automation is a practical pilot project for any small or mid-sized logistics provider. By teaching an AI bot to mimic your portal checks and email parsing, you can achieve 24/7 shipment updates without building new integrations. Early results show massive time savings. One case auto-updated 80% of loads in 2 weeks, and better customer visibility. And you can roll it out gradually, keeping your current process as a backup.
Yeah, it's a win-win. Customers get faster, more accurate updates, and dispatchers get their time back. The key is, even with basic tools, emails, spreadsheets, standard TMS, AI can give you the same kind of real-time insight the big integrators have. The data says it, real-time tracking pays off. As one analyst noted, GPS-based tracking improves operational efficiency and customer experience. Layer AI on top, and you automate the whole thing.
Well, thank you, Devon. This was a great rundown. I'm excited to try a pilot on that LA to New York route we've been delaying. And thank you, everyone, for joining us in this deep dive. Keep innovating.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of AI Chain Reaction. Thank you so much for tuning in and exploring the incredible world of AI and automation with us. We hope today's discussion sparked some new ideas and gave you valuable insights into how these technologies are shaping our future. Don't let the conversation stop here. What was your biggest takeaway from this episode? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. For more resources and to learn how AI automation can transform your business, visit us at wintersaisolutions.com. Thanks again for being part of our community. Until next time, keep innovating and stay curious.